Hi everyone, welcome to TGIF, another Friday, another episode. An interesting topic we have today for discussion, and for the first time, I'll be the guest on the show. And my host will be Vishaka. Vishaka, welcome.
Thank you, Sandeep. Hello, everyone.
Now, quickly, to manage a bandwidth, my team and I will continue to bring content week after week, and I'll be host and a guest with time permits. But otherwise, this journey of ours, into the year number 4 continues. So, without much ado, Vishaka, over to you. Let's get started.
Sure. So, as Sandeep rightly said, we are hosting Sandeep for the very first time, and it's my pleasure to host him on the TGIF on this new journey that we are starting. So, Sandeep, as you are here, I think there's a lot to talk about that you can share with us. But recently, I was just going through the Microsoft new announcement, and Microsoft has announced series of different co-pilots, and one of the things which I read is co-pilot GPTs.
Right.
I think you are the very right person to ask this question. Could you just help us understand what is GPT?
So quickly, Vishaka, GPTs were announced by OpenAI some time back, and GPTs are a lightweight customization of ChatGPT. Right? Let me clarify that. When we interact with ChatGPT, it does everything. It's like a master of all. Right? Is there a way I can instruct ChatGPT to behave like a hiking assistant or a personal financial advisor or a personal tutor? Right? So each of us can give instructions depending on the use case and create this miniature ChatGPT. It's called GPT, which will have capability, by the way, to go browse based on the question you ask, invoke a DALL-E if the need of the hour is to create an image, or code interpretation if there's a need for us to bring in some code. That's number 2. Number 3, when you use ChatGPT, you get these preset prompts, right? You don't know what to ask, right? You're saying it's financial advisor, but what can you ask this GPT? So it comes preset prompts that you can basically showcase for somebody who's a new user or somebody who's returning. Yeah. And the best part is it can actually act upon your own data source, right? Imagine, let's take hiking assistant, right? A GPT. Now, I have expertise in hiking. I've done, let's say, 100 hikes in the last 3-4 years. So much of information I have. I've basically want GPT to leverage my experience and offer the expertise to others, right? In fact, I'll show a demo in a little while from now. But in summary, GPTs are miniature ChatGPT customized to behave in a specific fashion.
Oh, I think this sounds very simple and interesting at the same time. It means that any user can actually go ahead and build something which is specific to the domain and the process that we are working on. I think that's great. I think.
In fact, Vishaka, you said simple, right? It is simple because this is a natural language instructions, nothing more than that. There's no programming. That means each of us can create GPTs depending on what is the purpose behind it, and give instructions and offer it as expertise to the rest of the world.
Sounds apt, I would say. So these are nothing but the apps in the app stores. You can create series of application and make the life easy. Absolutely.
This is synonymous to that. In fact, OpenAI recently announced GPT Store. As I read, there are about 3 million GPTs already in the store. I spoke about, let's say, hiking assistant. I can give an example of what I built for my niece, 6-year-old niece. She asks a lot of questions on anatomy and things which are simple questions, but explain to a 6-year-old, take some storytelling. So I've created a GPT called Anatomy Genie, right? Instruction to that GPT is, answer to a 6-year-old. And in case you have to explain a concept, make it like a story, right? So I did try it out with my niece, and she was extremely happy because the way response science came in was via stories.
I can understand. I think this is amazing, and it would be good, Sandeep, if you could just show us the glimpse of like how GPT looks like. Maybe how can we create one and then start using.
Let's dive right in and let's take a look at GPTs. Okay, so Vishaka, I mentioned earlier about GPTs, but here you go. This is basically GPT Store for ChatGPT. There are a ton of GPTs already available, right? One of my personal favorite, again, if you look at it across different categories, writing and productivity, research, these are all GPTs published by end users. In fact, even OpenAI has published good number of GPTs from their end, right? If you go to topics, there are something which are published by the community. There is something which is published by ChatGPT. This is by the ChatGPT team, pretty cool one. So my personal favorite, Vishaka, is a GPT called AllTrails, right? I love to go on hikes, and I'm planning to go on a hike to Bhutan later this year. So my first question, I was curious to understand what this GPT would do for me. My first question here is, hey, I'm planning to go for a hike to Bhutan later this year. Can you suggest a few places? Okay. Now, look, if you ask ChatGPT the same question, it will give you a response for sure, but this is unique here. If you see here, for my question, the person who's built this GPT has ensured information comes in a very structured fashion. There's an image of a specific hike place, there's location, description, rating, difficulty, elevation. By the way, ChatGPT may not give us all of information in this fashion. So here, this is my buddy on trails, right? Look, it's beautiful. It's come back, say, hey, Tiger's Nest Trail is number 1. I'd love to go there. And every single trail after that, right? Nature trail, etc. It comes with so much information capsuled in a consumable fashion. So this is what GPT looks like, and this is the true power of GPT, by the way. Yeah. Now your question was shows GPT. We saw that, but how do we create one? Yeah. So this is basically GPT Builder. I'm going to go to configure here. You can give a name, right? Description, instruction, and basically, as I said earlier, you can also have conversation starters. When you open ChatGPT, you see those preset prompts. Yeah. Those are the ones you can give as conversation starters. Web browsing, DALL-E, blah, 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 all the stuff, right? So I've already done one, Vishaka. I'll just get to that right away. I said I've done it for my niece, who's 6-year-old. It's called Anatomy Genie. I'm going to show you that. This looks like ChatGPT interface, right? It says by Sandeep Alur. Yes, I've given a few prompts already. How does my stomach work? Why do I have 2 eyes? What makes me grow? Those are questions that came my way from my niece, right? And let's say what makes me grow. If I ask that question here, look, Anatomy Genie responds to a 6-year-old. Right? Look, it says think of yourself like a plant. Just like a plant needs sunlight, water, and good soil, you need healthy food, water, and sleep. I mean, for a 6-year-old, no better way to explain, right? Now, if I have to basically show you how did I do this, what instructions I've given, you'll see anatomy. There's an edit button here, and you're going to configure. These are my instructions, right? I'm saying Anatomy Genie will provide educational content on human anatomy for 6-year-old. It will use simple language, be patient with explanation, and encourage curiosity with interactive dialogue, right? Always give concise short responses and check if any further clarification required. If they need be, ask questions back to the user to seek further inputs. So this is how this will behave. Yeah. So Vishaka, that's GPT in a nutshell for you. Very simple. Honestly, it's purely instruction driven. And looking at the fact that as Microsoft announced Copilot GPT, it's indicative that, going forward, enterprises will have the capability to create GPTs and share it with their colleagues. Of course, for a consumer, you should have the capability to publish GPTs into the public store. We'll see how that happens. But otherwise, this is, in simple terms, how GPT works.
Thank you so much, Sandeep.
Wonderful, Vishaka. You've been a wonderful host.
And thank you everyone for watching. As we have heard about Copilot GPTs, just go back, read more about it, start creating ones. You must be having a number of ideas just top of your mind right now. And that's the purpose of this particular discussion today. Thank you everyone. We'll see you in the next TGIF. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.